Hello，大家好。Hola todos. Hello everyone. Welcome to another Chinese class today. I see some new friends and I see some old friends. 我看见很多老朋友。你好，Laura。你们周末怎么样？How is your guys' weekend? For our 新朋友我介绍一下我自己，我是奔放My name is 奔放，我是一名中文老师，我教中文已经10年了。I'm a Chinese teacher and I have been teaching Chinese for 10 years. 我是一名持证老师I'm a certified teacher by the Confucius Institute. 我现在在中国的哈尔滨Right now I'm in Harbin in China，在中国的东北离在俄罗斯和蒙古的旁边in the north of China, northeast of China, very close to Mongolia and the Russia. 你们呢？你们叫什么名字？你们在哪儿？我知道 Laura 在德国今天有没有新的朋友和我打一下招呼？Is there someone new here? Please feel free to tell me where are you from and what's your name? 很好，很高兴认识大家今天我们会学习发音Today we are going to learn pronunciation. 可能你已经学习中文很长时间了。但是今天我们会学习一些不一样的东西。Maybe it's your first time coming here, or you have learned Chinese for many months, many years. But I think still by the end of the class, you will be able to learn something new. 很好。好金龙鼠，Good to see you again，金龙鼠。谢谢你又回来了金龙鼠，你周末做了什么你好，Milena，又见到你Colin，很多很多老朋友欢迎你们回来，欢迎今天你们周末做了什么我周末我没有聚会 ，apparently 没有聚会可是我有很多吃的，很多喝的我的朋友，我的妈妈带很多吃的在我的家My mom had bring a lot of food here since I was in quarantine. 现在我很好周末我很高兴。Colin 你好，我在法国非常好，非常好。法国天气怎么样？今天的天气怎么样？好Laura，这个周末你吃汉堡包了吗？Did you eat hamburger？很好好金龙鼠，我看了太多电影，因为我购买了 Disney，很好Disney 什么电影什么电影你喜欢那个电影吗？你可以推荐给我You can recommend to me，非常好。Why is Disney Plus 有一个加号在后面Disney Plus 很好。好我觉得很多人老朋友已经在这儿，我们可以开始了Since we already have all the friends here, let's just get started 我们看just 1 second, I'm going to share my screen. OK， 好好的我们复习一下Let's review a little bit. 大家都知道Obviously, everyone knows that in China we have the characters 汉字and each 汉字 has one 拼音 the pronunciation system written by the Roman letters. And each pinyin has 3 parts. The very first letter, we call it 声母 the initials 声母 And we have 21声母，21个声母一共有21个声母，21initials in total，3个例外，3 exceptions，3个例外，3 exceptions with 2 letters， the 知、吃、诗 ，right？whenever you see the 3 exceptions, give them a kiss with the round circle of your lip 知、吃、诗 very good that's the 3 initials with 2 pinyin 2 letters 非常好 and the rest of the pinyin in Chinese we call it the final the final and we have 36 finals in Chinese final is 韵母 Among the 36个韵母 among the 36 finals, we have 6 simple finals since they only have 1 letter. And then we have 30 compound final since they have maybe 2 letters, 3 letters, or 4 letters. And later we are going to take a look of some important ones. We don't have time to cover everything, but I will prefer to group them to certain degrees, and then we can just focus on the most difficult one. 好，Colin said 我不知道法国的天气，我男朋友还睡觉。谢谢你 ，Colin， 你起得很早You got up very early。谢谢你，非常好的学生非常好。好，let's continue So the first group the first group are the initials that has a hidden in all of them So by looking at those group, maybe you don't see the sound, but actually they are hidden in every single of the initials. So for example, b, b. The second one with a lot of air, p, p 非常好 p 很好m, m, f, f 非常好 d, d. And the T has a lot of air t, t, n, n, l, l, g, g. Another one with a lot of air k, k. And the last one also have a little bit of air pop out h, h. So the one with air will be p, p, t, t, k, k, and then small air h, h. 非常好，非常好And for the second group, I would like to put these 7 initials together because there's an important rule here. So which is that when E, the final E after the initials of these 7 initials, the E is muted. So the E is silent. Although we see E here after the 7 initial, but we don't pronounce them. Instead, we just keep the original sound of those initials. So for example, the first one, the first three, you have to keep your mouth a little bit wide. The very first one, z, z, this one feels like we got electricity shock, like z, z, There's no air pop out, but the teeth are together, a little bit wide. Z, z, 非常好Again, z, z, perfect One more time, z, z, 非常好And the second one, the letter C, this one sounds like a TS, the TS sound, but with a lot of air, very strong air pop out. This one will be 呲 呲 Again, the mouth is very wide. 呲 呲 So in the beginning, you feel you have a mouthful of air, and then you use your teeth to try to block the air. And then you have to let the air all release, all pop out. So if I do it in a slow motion, will be 呲 呲 呲 非常好啊。Again, 呲 呲 perfect 啊。呲 with a final, let's try So together will be 擦擦非常好啊。Strong air, and in the beginning, always try to block the air a little bit 啊。擦擦非常好。Chinese food, the dishes, it's the CAI, the tone 4, right? A lot of air also. 菜菜 I need to hear the sound in the beginning when your teeth try to block the air. That part is mandatory. 菜菜非常好啊。That's it. 菜好and then the third one 丝丝 a little bit of air, also wide mouth, but light air compared to 呲. This one will be 丝丝 So for example, 撒撒塞塞瑟瑟非常好。And the next four, the lip is a little bit round. So for example, the ZH will be 知知非常好啊。Like the word drop in English, drop, the DR part is similar to this one. 知知非常好 very solid sound. 知知 And then the CH, the CH again with a lot of air pump out. This one like a church, the second CH. 吃吃非常好啊。吃吃 very good. And then the SH, a little bit air. 是是 like in the English word shop, shop. The SH part. 是是非常好啊。是 And then the last one, the R sound, also a little bit round of your lip. R, r. For this one, suppose this is your upper palate, your upper teeth, and your tongue should be behind the upper teeth, but do not touch the teeth. And the stress is on the head of your tongue. So this one will be 日日非常好啊。A little bit round, and then the tongue flight, stress on the top of your tongue. It's 日日 Do not vibrate it's just the 日日非常好。日 Perfect. So let's compare one more time these 7 initials here. Even though it's E, the E never we pronounce. This one here will be Z, Z. Second one, C, C. The third one, 第三个 S, S. 知知吃吃诗诗 And the last one, 日日 Perfect. For the finals here, those are some finals that are really easy to get confused. So here there are some tricks here. So if you see the UI, this one sounds like the English word way. 我们喜欢说对对对 right? Like 对对对 the way And also like 水 SHUI the water, right? Third tone 水 So the UI sounds like way. And then the IE, this one sounds like yeah, yeah, yeah. So for thank you, 谢谢, 谢谢. The X make the mouth very wide, and then the yeah, 谢谢, 谢谢, with this, yeah, yeah. And also, let's see, these two are very similar. The AI sounds like the English letter I, but the EI sounds like the letter A. So for example, here we have 再见, 在. But if we change to A, will be Z, 非常好啊 Z. Let's compare another one, the ZH, the H make your mouth lip round. Jai, and the other one is J, 非常好啊 J. Another one shy, and then we have shay, 非常好. And the next two are the OU together is the letter O in English. This one will be O. So keep the mouth as one form. O, very good. And then if it's UO together, this one we have to pronounce the individual final and combine them together. So this final is oo, right? The lip is a perfect circle, very small. Ooh. And then this one in northern China, I prefer to pronounce this one start with a perfect circle of your lip and then relax. There's a transition. So just for this part, as a final, I will pronounce it as wa. Very good. Start smaller and then relax. Wa. So together will be 我非常好我 So let's compare these two one more time. The first one is o, and the second one 我 So let's see here. We have 作 and then the other one is 走非常好走 Then we have a strong air with the 呲 right? So 呲 u 我 together. 搓 and the other one is 凑 I will read each one here from 缩 so 捉周戳抽说and show. The last one 若 and 揉 非常好If anyone has question, please write me 如果你有问题可以写一下好that's some tips for certain finals, the most difficult finals and then this one is also a very, very tricky rule. So we know that the final, simple final, this one is yu, right? Yu. So it's like a little bit wide and then becomes smaller, but not as small as u. We never want any sound of u when we pronounce the yu. Very good. It sounds like it starts with the E and then a little bit smaller. The mouth is a little bit flat. 非常好. And yu in Chinese is only after this 6 initial. You won't see yu after other initials because it only follows this 6 initial. And when yu is after ji, qi, xi, yi, the first 4 initials, we write u instead of yu. So you won't see the 2 dots anymore. But you have to give the sound of yu, although it looks like u, but it's actually yu, because as you can see, u never follows ji, qi, xi, yi. U, wan, wen. Any u never follows ji, qi, xi, yi. But if you see the u letter after ji, qi, xi, yi, you need to give the yu sound, the yu sound. So for example, this one, and let's see the 4 initials first. So the ji, this ji, qi, xi, yi, I suggest you to think about the word cheese. When you take a photo and some people say like do a cheese mouth. So the ji, qi, xi, yi, we have to do the cheese mouth. It's like you have to do the smile with a very wide mouth. The first one with it's ji, very good. Ji, no air, just smile face. Ji. And for ji, qi, xi, yi, they both have the hidden e in the initial. So we need to give the e sound in 4 of them. One more time. Ji. And then the second one has a lot of air pump out. This one is qi. 非常好 I need to hear very strong air pop out and smile face. 七 非常好 And the third one only a little bit air compared to 七 this one will be 西 So this 3 one more time. No air, strong air, and little air. 鸡 qi, xi. Very good. Again. Ji, qi, xi. And then the y the initial e and the final e is the same. So here we can just give the sound as e. The initial e and the final e is exactly the same. E. So here we will practice with the yu after the 4 initial. Here will be ju, 非常好 The second one, strong air. 去 非常好 I need to hear the air. 去 非常好 And the third one, light air. 虚 smile face, cheese mouth. 虚 非常好 And the last one is 吁 非常好 吁 perfect 吁 And then we can see here the final here is 冤 the an always from your throat. Never use nasal sound because no g, no nasal. Everything from the throat. 冤 非常好 Again 冤 with the initial 捐非常好 捐 and with the 七 strong air 圈 and then the third one 宣 The last one start with the 一 冤 perfect 非常好 好, the other one, this one is 晕, the N again from the throat. So 晕, 晕. It actually sounds like this one, the Y-U-N, because the U and E, they are both start with the E sound. So this one also is 晕, 晕. So this four, we have the first one, 君, 君, strong air for the second one, 君, 君, 非常好. Then we have 熏, 熏, and then we have 晕, 晕, very good. Next one is we start with yu and then the mouth become bigger. 约, 约, very good. Small and then big. 约, 约. So we have 撅, 撅, perfect. Again, 撅. The second one, strong air. 缺, 缺, 非常好. 缺. And then we have 学, 学, like a 学习, 学习 to study, right? 学习, 学习 with small air. And then we have the 约, 约, start with E, right? 约, 约, perfect. That's how we pronounce the G, T, C, E with the U. Don't never give the U sound here. Always is U. Also, both U and U follows N and L. So because both U and U after N, L, therefore we need to keep the two dots to differentiate from Nu and Lu. So here is Nu and Lu. But if we put the two dots on top, that's Nu and Lu. Nu, Lu. 非常好啊. So you can only see the two dots when it's after initials of N and L. Here, I have a lot of students saying like 我去, I went to somewhere, which is wrong. Always is I go, 我去, 我去. And when you say I go out, it's 我出去, right? The CHU for exit. 出, 出, which is a CH, the round circle of your lip with U. 出. And then to go is 去, 去. So to go out. 出去, 出去. 我出去, 我出去. 非常好, 非常好啊. 好. And let's see the next one. Here. So let's see. This one will be 云, right? 云. Since it's yu after e, it cannot be u. It must be yun. So 云, 云. And this one will be 雨, right? 雨. This one, 虚, 虚. We don't want the shu sound. The shu is wrong. It's always 虚, 虚. 非常好. 好, now let's take a look at just one more thing is that the initial W and the final U is the same sound. So this will be U, U. Keep the lip the same. So it's no change. Together is U, U, like number 5. U, U. And the initial Y and the final E, the same sound. E, E. So here is yan, yang. And the one thing is that here the N, the AN is all from the throat. And if you see the G, it's all the nasal sound, nasal sound. So the difference between these two initial from the throat, and and from the nose on, and then on very different on 非常好。And then the same thing en is n and the eng move to the nose, the nasal sound compare again n 非常好。ong will be on nasal sound on. The last two are the in and ing in 非常好。好so that's the tips for individual 拼音Does anyone still have a question about the individual 拼音because later we will move on to see the two 拼音 how we pronounce a word with two 拼音 or three 拼音我看一看有没有人问问题好if not let's continue let's continue. So here this is the main thing that I would like to stress for today's lesson, because sometimes we learn the individual tones and individual pinyin very well. But however, if you learn a word with two pinyin, three pinyin, four pinyin, when you have more than one pinyin together, then we have a series of new rules that we need to follow. For example, here, we know that the coffee in Chinese is 咖啡, right? It's 咖啡. But if we we do it individually perfectly, it will be 咖啡 at the same level, which is not right. You won't hear any Chinese people said 我要咖啡, right? It's very mechanic. It's not very natural. So when a word with two pinyin, we have to follow the rule as light stress. The first pinyin will be light. The second pinyin will be stressed with more emphasis. So as you can see, 咖啡 both are tone one. But in your mind, you have to imagine the box for the first pinyin and the box for the second pinyin differently. So ka is in a much smaller box, and the fei, since it's a second pinyin, it should be stressed. So this part should be a bigger box. So what does it mean when I say light stress? That means that for the first pinyin, it should be shorter and the pitch should be lower. And the second pinyin, if it has a tone, it should be longer, the length should be longer, and the pitch should be higher. So here, instead of cafe, we have to make it light and stress. So in real life, that will be cafe, cafe. So fei is higher than ka, and the fei is longer, right? So here again, cafe, cafe, very good. 咖啡，咖啡，非常好，非常好And the 冰 is ice, right? 冰冰水 like cold water. 箱 is a box. So the ice box in Chinese is a fridge. Fridge. For fridge is also 同one. The 同one, we need to follow the same rule, right? From the same rule. So, 金龙鼠 Laura, can you imagine, Colleen, imagine this in your head? How do we pronounce fridge? This one also quick, longer, lower, higher. 冰箱 冰箱啊，非常好。Again，冰箱，冰箱啊，很好。So one more time, guys. 咖啡，咖啡 and then 冰箱，冰箱，非常好，非常好啊。And if a word formed by three pins, if a word have three pin, could be a verb, object, phrase, because drink coffee, that's one concept. We can take it as a whole, as one complete concept. So here, here will be, we need if it's a three pin, then we have to follow the rule that medium, light, stress. The first one is medium. The second one is super quick and super low. And the last one, if it has a tone on top of it, this one should be the one with stress, much longer and higher pitch. So early we learned coffee, cafe, cafe, cafe. But now if we put to drink in the beginning, to drink coffee, then we need to make a ka very low and very quick. And the he is a little bit longer, medium, right? So this one together will be 喝咖啡，喝咖啡，喝咖啡。You hear the ka is super short, right? So this one is the length is very, very short, and a little bit higher. The pitch is medium, light, stress. One more time. 喝咖啡，喝咖啡，喝咖啡。Very good 谢谢 Laura，谢谢 Laura Laura，你喝咖啡了吗？你喝咖啡了吗？Did you drink coffee? 喝咖啡，喝咖啡。Now if we are doing like open the window, to open the window, open is 开，开，开。And sorry, not a window, the fridge. Open the fridge, the fridge. So fridge is 冰箱，冰箱, right? So now together we will be open the fridge. 开冰箱，开冰箱非常好。开冰箱 the 箱 is much longer and higher pitch. 开冰箱，开冰箱，非常好很好and a country that very famous country, Singapore. Singapore in Chinese it's 新. Let's do one by one and give it a perfect tone first. So it's the X, very the cheese mouth, right? 新, xin, xin. And then the J, the G, no air, also smell face. 家, 家, 家. Same sound as home, right? 我家, 你家, 家. And then the last one, 坡, the P with a lot of air, right? 坡,坡. So altogether, the medium light stress rule 新加坡, 新加坡. Very good. Again, 新加坡. Another country that also three pinyin and sounds the same tone, sounds very angry. Do you guys know which country is that one? With the same tone and very sharp. That one also follow the rule. It's Italy, which is one by one is I, da, li, right? Italy. I, da, li. But now follow the rule. Medium light stress will be Italy, Italy. 非常好Italy, Italy. The last one with the full pronunciation. Italy, Italy. 非常好very good. 好. So this is a general rule to put the stress usually for the last pin has tone mark. If the last pin has no tone mark, no tone, it's neutral tone, then you have to put the stress on the one before. Always the stress is on the last pin with tone mark. Here the examples I am giving is all we put the stress on the last one because it all has tone. So again, so 咖啡香，咖啡香香，下坡。We are taking a close look with more pinyin that's like a two words pinyin, two pinyin words. Colleen says 我的冰箱太吵闹了。How to say that's not work well? Very good. Colleen said my fridge 我的冰箱我的冰箱 right? 太 is too right? 吵闹 we learned it's noisy right? 太吵闹了too noisy. In Chinese doesn't work. It's 不好使it's 不好使tone 3, tone 4, tone 3, and tone 3. So 不好使 I think I may have this one. Yeah. So when two third tone together, the first one change to the second tone, right? So here 不好使is like it doesn't work. We don't use the work 工作 A lot of my students say the 不工作 不工作 is wrong, doesn't mean not work. 不工作 means you take a rest, you are not going to work. But if something is wrong 不好使我的冰箱不好使我的手机不好使非常好。好let's continue. Let's see the next one. If it's a tone 1, the tone 2, a word with tone 1, the tone 2, then we have to keep the first tone lower. And then the second tone is the last one. So this one is longer. And as you can see, the end of tone 1 is the beginning of the tone 2. So we have to make the tone 1 very low in order to make it more easy to raise your pitch, raise your tone. So for example, this year will be 今年非常好今年 perfect 今年 And although 今 by itself should be very high pitch, but in this case, as a new word, as a two pinyin words, we need to make the 今 lower, and naturally, when you finish 今年 goes up. 今年非常好And 金龙鼠 said, I always wondered about 意大利Yes, in real life, it actually sounds like English, right? 听起来像用英语一样So like Italy 意大利So certainly not 意大利 no, it's 意大利非常好Here crazy, last time we learned 奔放的聚会很疯狂疯狂 crazy, right? 疯狂very good 很好and the next one, if it's tone 1 with tone 3 here, as you can see since tone 1 at the first place, we need to lower the tone, lower the pitch again. But third tone originally it's something very low, right? So if you see in the box, tone 3 is like lowest compared to the other 3. So here, even though tone 3 is the last one, but the pitch is not going too crazy high since the overall is very low pitch. So here, the end of tone 3 is slightly higher than tone 1. So here, for example, drink water will be 喝水 Although tone 3 has the stress, but it's a low pitch. 喝水 Very good. This 喝 is low. We don't want 喝 too high. 喝水 no. 喝水 no. But 喝水 The end of the tone 1 is the beginning of tone 3. 喝水 And cold water cold water is 冰水冰水非常好冰水冰水 Very good. Now let's move to tone 1 and tone 4 Again, tone 4 is start very high, right? In order to make the connection not very unnatural, so we raise the tone 1 a little bit higher. So later it's easier for you to drop to make the sound of tone 4. So to find out in Chinese, it's 发现发现发现发现 Very good. 发现hello, could share doc? Yes. Later I will show you how to add me so I can share to you with the doc. Very good. So here let's see. Fa we need to raise it a little bit, right? Fa, and then the xian we need to put a stress. It need to be higher than the end of tone 1. So 发现 发现 Very good. Again, 发现发现 And to help is 帮助帮助we make the tone 1 lower in order to make it easier for you to start the tone 4. 帮助帮助非常好帮助 Now let's see tone 2 with tone 1 Tone 2 with tone 1. Now tone 1 switch the place. Tone 1 becomes to the last pinyin with tone mark. So now tone 1 can be itself, right? Can be very high, can be very happy, very high pitch. And now tone 2 has to be like the first place, a little bit low key, right? So tone 2 and tone 1 together is like you are climbing a ladder. You're climbing and then you naturally evolve to tone 1. So for room will be 房间房间 Very good. Now the tone 1 pitch very high, right? 房间房间我的房间非常好 And for time time here SHI the SH the E follow SH E is muted silent, right? So just 十 but it's a short second tone 十 and then 间so 时间 perfect 什么时间 what time 什么时间very good hello son I just joined the app. Well, we are learning the pronunciation the combination of two pinyin words. So we are seeing the 发音我们在学习发音Laura 是德国人很好好 so let's continue now let's see the tone 2 and the tone 2 this one is as you can see this one weak. It's very tough for you to raise tone 2 and you come to the bottom again and to make another tone 2. So actually when tone 2 and tone 2 together, it's naturally like this one, like this arrow. You are just climbing with tone 2 and tone 2. One is lower pitch, one is higher. So for example, I often do something. Often in Chinese, it's 长长长长长长 It's if we do it individually, will be 长 it's very like a robot, right? But now we don't want the 长 we want more natural so 长长 it's more easy for you to, especially when you do a long sentence. For long sentence, we are going to learn for the next 2 lessons to how to pause and make long sentences. So when you do follow those rules for each small chunk, it's easier and faster for you to pronounce. 我常常喝水，我常常喝水，我常常喝咖啡，我常常喝咖啡 right? So it's more natural and more coherent, connect together. 我常常喝咖啡very good. Here, how to pronounce Great Wall in Chinese. Here the nasal sound, right? The on and on and 很好啊，很多德国人啊，many Germans 啊，德国人，right？德国人 ，Colin is 法国人，法国人，我是中国人，right？We stress on the 是，right？To be because 我是is the second 拼音，人the last one 啊，我是法国人啊，Laura 是德国人啊，我是中国人啊。Son, where are you from? 啊，很好。So let's come back to this one. So Great Wall is 长城啊，长城非常好啊，长城，长城。And now let's comes to this one. To tone 2 and tone 3. The tone 3 is much lower, make the tone 2 also even lower. So later it's easier for you to start the tone 3. For example, tomorrow night will be 明晚，明晚，明晚。The whole pitch of the two words is not crazy high. It's like in the middle, from 2 to 4. So it's 明晚，明晚。And the famous Chinese eBay, the Alibaba, the shopping platform is 淘宝，淘宝the 淘 second tone 淘宝 third tone 淘宝，淘宝。Colleen said, how do you split a sentence to know where to pause and how to count the tones? Very good question. So I will think about the sentence. And for example, if I say, I'm Chinese, right? If you say 我是中国人, if you do that very individually, then the listener have to think for 4 times. 我 I 是 to be. So you are what? 我是中国. You are China? No. 中国人 Chinese people. So those are very bad split, right? Instead, we need to split only once. 我是 is one concept, right? I am. And the listener will expecting you are what? You are your name or your nationality and then you say 中国人, 中国人. Then they know you are Chinese people. You are Chinese. 你是法国人. So this will be a good split. Sometimes you need to group 2 individual word as a concept. Sometimes the concept is already there. So think about how you each time you pause, will it influence the understanding of the listener? That's where you put the pause. 非常好好。And one more rule is that here, when 2 third tone together, many of you already know. The first one we have to change to the second tone. So for example, here to take a shower, it's third tone, and we need to follow the same rule here. So change to second and third. 洗澡，洗澡 very good. 洗澡，洗澡。And the mouse, the Mickey Mouse is a 老鼠，老鼠 the rat. 老鼠，老鼠 very good. And many of you may be wondering, teacher, what about there are 3 third tone? If there are 3 third tone, what should we do? If it's 3 third tone, again, it's like the question Colleen just asked me. You have to see whether you can divide it to 2 parts or it's together, it's a whole concept. For example, in China, we like to say, to give command, like you go take a shower, 洗洗澡, 洗洗澡. That's one concept, go to take a shower. So here if it's one concept, we just do 2, 2, 3. We change the first 2 second tone, and then the third tone always keep the original, the long length. So 洗洗澡，洗洗澡。妈妈告诉孩子 the mother tells the kids 你去洗洗澡 And also, we know that I'm fine, I'm good. 我很好. Together, it means I'm fine. There's no need you say I very good. That's very tough and tiring for the listener. So this you can combine together as one concept, 2 to 3. 我很好，我很好，我很好。And if the three third pin you can see for this one who like 金龙鼠 you like Mickey Disney, right? So here this is how we say the Mickey Mouse of the Disney world. So Mickey Mouse is one by one is 米老鼠, right? So 老鼠 together means the rat, the rat. And the 米 is the Mickey, Mickey. So here, 米 we cannot give the second tone because it's like a two concept. 米 is a name, 老鼠 is a rat. So 米 need to keep the third tone, but this third tone should be very short in order to you see the tail should be short because it can combine with the 老 here in the middle. It becomes to a full third tone. So here, the three third tone sounds like sounds like a fourth tone, neutral tone, and then a third tone. So it's 米老鼠, 米老鼠. So 米老 it sounds like a one like a tone 4 and a tone 2. 米老鼠, 米老鼠, 米老鼠. And a small rat, it's a 小老鼠. Very good. 小老鼠, 米老鼠, 小老鼠. It's a tricky. When you learn the pinyin, you have to see if it's together as a concept or you can further divide the concept. Laura said, agree, Colleen, it's almost impossible to understand new words in sentence. We will get there. For the next two lessons, we will learn how to pronounce them in a big sentence. 谢谢金龙鼠. Here, let's see an example. So if you say, I have a 55 kwai RMB, you count it. So it's like a tone 3, tone 2, tone 3, like this one. And 3, 3, 3. So 数 is count it. You count it. 你 is you. So we put a pause here. Follow the same rule here. So 55你数数55你数数55你数数非常好好 guys, that's for today. So it will be we will review this for the Wednesday and Thursday's class, all those rules, and we will also learn how to pronounce them in a full sentence. And this is the link, the same link on italki to take a look of the, and here is the lessons, the time. And if you want to get more pronunciation tips or any other learning tips, you can join the WeChat group. And here's a WhatsApp group of mine for future notice about useful materials. And you can always book class with me on italki. Thank you guys for today, and 我现在去喝水and 喝咖啡 and hope you guys also enjoy the other live sessions on italki, and I will see you guys on Wednesday and Thursday. Have a great day. 谢谢大家，希望你们有一个愉快的一天好的，再见，好。
nativas dispuestas a ayudarte a practicar el idioma que desees aprender. Los usuarios con tiempo libre se mostrarán disponibles para recibir llamadas y de esta forma ganarán recompensas ayudando a otros usuarios. Así es como conectamos personas de forma colaborativa y gratuita en nuestra aplicación. Únete a nuestra comunidad, haz nuevos amigos y mejora en todos los idiomas que quieras. Descarga Lingvi y practiquemos juntos.
Este es Peter. Está aprendiendo chino. Ha intentado estudiar por su cuenta con libros, tarjetas de vocabulario y aplicaciones móviles, pero sigue teniendo problemas para hablar. Esta es María. Le encanta aprender inglés, pero no tiene oportunidades para ponerlo en práctica. Con italki, Peter y María pueden recibir clases personales online para hablar con fluidez en otro idioma. Tú también puedes aprender un idioma en italki. Empieza hoy en 3 simples pasos. Primero, elige un idioma: inglés, alemán, chino, francés, japonés. Italki tiene profesores para cualquier idioma. Segundo, escoge un profesor. Con Italki puedes escoger entre miles de profesores con experiencia de todo el mundo. Tercero, elige el horario de tu lección. Las clases de idiomas online son el mejor método para aprender con profesores nativos. Con Italki tendrás un profesor de idiomas personal y conversaciones reales con hablantes nativos. Cada día miles de personas aprenden con profesores internacionales a través de italki. Encuentra un profesor hoy y domina el idioma de tu lección.
Hi everyone, it's Vicente and I teach Spanish on italki.com. And today we will be talking about 3 grammar rules to follow when you start learning Spanish. The first one is that, as you have already heard, Spanish verbs are always conjugated. That means that they have to match with the subject of the sentence. For example, there are different pronouns in Spanish. Yo, tú, él, ella, usted, nosotros, nosotras, vosotros, vosotras, and ellos, ellas, y ustedes. All these pronouns have their own conjugations, and it's very common for beginners to mix them up. So remember this. When you start to conjugate the verbs, they have to match. The second rule is very important as well. The Spanish nouns and adjectives has to be in the same level. Let me explain you this. If you have a noun that is feminine and plural, for example, las mujeres, the adjective that you have to use right after the noun has to be feminine and plural as well. For example, las mujeres españolas. It is the same with the articles las, female and plural. We use this article because, as I say, it's female and plural. The third rule I already mentioned before, and be careful, English speakers, because the adjectives in Spanish go after the noun, not before like in English. This is very common for students that learn Spanish and already speak or know English. When I say it, las mujeres españolas, españolas is the adjective, and I put it after las mujeres. In English, it would be the Spanish woman, but not in Spanish. Okay, there are some occasions where the adjectives go before the nouns. That is true, but normally this use comes out at intermediate level or advanced level, so do not worry when you are a beginner. Thanks for watching this video, and don't forget to subscribe to the italki YouTube channel over here. Take a lesson with me on italki.com by clicking on my teacher profile link in the description. Hasta luego! Hi everyone, it's Vicente and I teach Spanish on italki.com. And today I will be talking about 7 Spanish words that are similar to their English counterpart. These words are also known as cognates. What a cognate is? A cognate is a word that has the same linguistic derivation that another word, and it looks similar, and when you pronounce it, it sounds almost the same. And here I will give you 7 cognates so you can use them in Spanish as well. The first one is alcohol in Spanish. Guess you know what it means, because it sounds pretty similar than in English, doesn't it? Number 2 is conclusión. This one has a different pronunciation. in Spanish that you will understand definitely when you start learning Spanish. Number three, hobby. This one is completely similar. We basically took this word from English. Number 4, individual. Of course, it's the same word, just different pronunciation. The next one, number 5, is piercing. Yes, we use this word with the same pronunciation and meaning. Next one, number 6, is informal. I like to use this one in my lessons to explain ways to greet and say goodbye because it's similar in English and is a word that the students understand very quickly. And the last are some words related to sports. If you're learning Spanish and you like sports, you're lucky because most of the words are cognates like football, tennis, baseball, volleyball, hockey, water polo, golf, surf, and so on. As you can see, almost all sports are cognates. So, talking about your hobbies should not be difficult. As you can see, there are many, and I would like to remember you that there are hundreds of cognates, and if you check them, you can be ready to your first Spanish lesson. Thanks for watching the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the italki YouTube channel for more tips on learning Spanish. Take a lesson with me on italki.com by clicking on my teacher profile link in the description. Hasta luego!
Hi everyone, it's Caroline here and I teach English on italki. Today I am going to be talking about business idioms or idioms you might hear in your office or in your workplace. A student asked me a really good question the other day. He asked me whether, because I'm a native English speaker, do I know every single idiom? And the answer is no. Idioms are phrases or expressions that come from a particular place or a particular age group. So idioms are different in the UK to idioms in the United States. I have chosen 5 business idioms to talk to you about today, and you may hear them in an office in the UK or in the States. So hopefully they will be super useful for you. Idiom number 1 is the big picture. Imagine you go into a meeting and your boss says to you, you've lost sight of the big picture. What does that mean? That means that you are thinking too much about the small details of the project, and you are so interested in those little details that you don't remember what it is you're trying to achieve. So always keep sight of the big picture. The second idiom is to go the extra mile. Now imagine you're in an interview and the interviewer says to you that they are looking for someone who always goes the extra mile. What does that mean? Does it mean they want you to run around the office every day? No, it means they want you to do more than just what is in the job description. They want you to go that little bit further and to take on extra responsibilities. That is going the extra mile. The third idiom is a win-win situation. A win-win situation means everybody gains something. A really good example of this is these videos that I'm making for italki. italki gains some content for their website, some lessons for their learners, and I have a platform where students can see me and book lessons with me. It's a win-win. italki wins and Caroline wins. The fourth idiom is word of mouth. So an example of this is, think about how you found out about italki. Did you find italki by searching on Google, or did you find italki because one of your friends recommended it to you? Recommendations from friends are word of mouth. It can be positive or it can be negative. If your company gets bad word of mouth, it is going to be a very difficult time for your company because people really listen to the opinions of their friends. So make sure whatever you do, you have good word of mouth about it. The fifth and final business idiom is to touch base. My manager used to say this to me a lot. To touch base means to have a very quick and short meeting about a project or something that you are working on. It might only be 5 minutes of your time, but in that time, you will check that your understanding of the project is the same as your manager's understanding of the project. So I have a challenge for you. In your next lesson, I want you to ask your teacher if you can touch base about what you have learned in your lessons so far. This could be 5 minutes at the end of the lesson where you review all of the different subjects that you have been studying. You're touching base about the things you have covered so far. Thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe to italki by clicking somewhere. And you can take a lesson with me by clicking on my teacher profile in the description box. Have a good day, everyone. Bye.
Welcome back to the Stop Being Boring When Speaking English video series. When speaking to native English speakers, it's useful to use a variety of vocabulary to make your conversation sound more interesting and flow. Why not spice up your language a little bit and impress others with your speaking abilities? In this next video, we will take a look at some American and British slang.
Number 1, American. John Hancock.
John Hancock.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a person,
It's a name of a person, yes.
and it's American slang.
Mm-hmm. What do you think it means?
I just got John Hancock. Does it mean like wasted?
Certainly not.
Give me an example.
Okay, so can I please have your John Hancock at the bottom of this paper? Come on, you gotta get it now.
Is it your signature?
Yes, you got it! That was easy.
Okay, awesome. Number 1, British. Peak. What does peak mean?
Like, taking a peek.
No, that's
Sorry, that's not taking a peek.
That's not slang.
This is taking a peek.
But that's just like taking a peek. That's not slang.
Oh.
Like in a slang context.
Like the peak of a mountain? That's not slang. That's actually
Yeah, that is the peak of a mountain.
I don't know. Tell me.
Okay, let me give you an example. So say you go out one night and you lose your purse, your keys.
Is it like the most horrible situation you can be in?
Yeah, exactly. You'd be like, that's so peak. You'd be like, oh, yeah. How was your night? It was so peak.
I just got fired. That's so peak.
Exactly.
Oh, cool.
So it's like the peak of badness, I guess.
Oh, I got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the peak.
2, American. Jacked.
Jacked. Does that mean like hench?
What does hench mean?
Like say you go to the gym.
Don't answer back with a slang word.
So the British equivalent of jacked would be hench, I think. So if someone's like really ripped.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
So hench.
Go to the gym, work out a
They're
lot.
like, whoa, look at him, he's so jacked.
We would say hench. Number 2, British. Peng. Peng.
Peng.
Peng. P-E-N-G. Peng.
Like someone being hanged on the head with something? Or
Peng.
just thinking of bang and pang. It's similar, I don't know.
I guess it's a little similar. No.
Give me an example.
Okay, so for example, say you're eating a cake. It's delicious. You can say, oh, this is peng.
Does it just mean delicious?
You could use it in other contexts as
Does it
well.
mean like it hits the spot? You know?
Yeah, but I could also say that your eyes are peng. Or a person is peng.
Just mean like extraordinarily awesome?
Basically. If you're talking about a person, you might even say peng-ting.
Peng-ting.
Like he's a peng-ting.
Okay.
This is mostly
So
London.
like he's like a 10.
Yeah, exactly.
So like the top of the top.
Yeah, basically.
Number 3, American. I blew it.
I blew it.
I blew it!
What a nightmare. I blew it.
Yeah.
So that means that you've completely ruined the situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Say like, I didn't make it into...
Hello, I'm Teacher D, and I'm here today to talk to you about sentence structure. Okay, but first, a little about me. Teacher D from the United States. I have over 20 years experience in education and over 7 years experience teaching English as a second language. And I'm from Massachusetts. I will show you Massachusetts. And hello, if you are here, say hello. Leave a comment, say hello. All right, and I'm here in Massachusetts. If you can see that, yes. Sorry about that. It's cold in Massachusetts in the winter, and when I was 30 years old, my family and I moved to Ecuador, which is in South America. That is where the rainforest is, and we lived there for 7 years. Good morning, Angel. Good morning. We lived there for 7 years, so I learned Spanish. I'm fluent in Spanish. Now I live in the south of the United States in Tennessee, near Nashville. Nashville is the country music capital of the world. Country music is the one where they wear the big hats and they play the guitar and it has that funny twang. If you don't know country music, look up country music on Google and you will see some famous people like Tanya Tucker, Travis Tritt, Faith. I can't remember her last name right now. And these people are country music singers. Okay, so tell me where you are from. Robert from Valencia. Hello, hello, how are you? And Angel, where are you from? What's interesting about where you live? In Massachusetts, the Pilgrims landed near Massachusetts and it was one of the first states to be settled in the country. That's interesting about Massachusetts. Ecuador is in where I lived was the rainforest, also home of the Galapagos Islands. And Tennessee is near Nashville, country music capital of the world. So Angel is from Barcelona. Very good. Barcelona, Spain. All right. Well, thank you for telling me that. And if you pop in what's interesting about where you live, something famous about your city, I will repeat it for all our viewers. So let's begin with a little game. It's a combination of Hangman, Wheel of Fortune, and two truths and a lie. But today we have 2 lies and 1 truth. So let's see if you can see what these 3 sentences are. Hello, Jack from Poland. Welcome. Thank you. Jack from Poland. Very good. So I would like you to give me some letters here. If you get 7 letters incorrect, you will hang us. 7 letters to the gallows. Gallows is where they would take prisoners when they were being convicted, when they had been convicted of a crime, and they would hang them until they were dead. So let's not die today. Give me some letters. Give me some letters. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and see if we can make these sentences. And they're about me. 2 of them are not true, and 1 of them is true. A. Okay, let's see. Do we have any A's? We do. We do have an A. Very good. Hello, Camila. All right, T is our next letter. We do have some T's in here. Am I like Vanna White from Wheel of Fortune? That's the only T. Okay, is that an I? I. Very good, Jack. I do have eyes. We have eyes in our sentence. Yes. Let's put those eyes in here. Eyes. We have 3 eyes. We have more than 3 eyes. There we go. And S. Yes, we have some S's. Some S's. Here's an S. That's the S. O, Camila. O from Camila. Let's see. We do have an O. We do have 2 O's. Okay, an R. We have an R. You guys are doing great. Hello, Isa from Zaragoza, Spain. E. We do have E. Ooh. You guys are doing great. E is a very good letter. Very good letter. Let's see, what else do we have? H from rubber. Yes, we do have H. You guys are doing great. We haven't gotten any letters in the gallo. Oops, I forgot some letters here. No, I didn't. I forgot this one letter here, the E. Oh, you're going faster than I can put them in. Oh, U. I do not believe there is a U. No U. V. Fruit fly. Hello. V. Yes, we have some V's. Oh, I've forgotten another letter in this word. A V here as well. Very good. Have we missed any of your letters? We need some more letters. Where are you from, fruit fly? Okay, we have 1 letter in the gallo. That gives us 6 more. And we are almost finished with the phrases. Oh, I forgot 1 letter here. N. Jack says N. Yes, we have some N's. There we go. We already did R. Thank you. Isa, yes, we have D. Oh, we are actually missing a letter here. Hello, Carol. Welcome. Where are you from, Carol? Yes, we have a G. Very good. So we've managed to get 1 sentence. I have a dog. Okay. We're almost finished. Can you guess the rest of the sentences? My goodness, the time went by fast. We have to be quick here so we can do our lesson. C's and L's. Very good. Now, can you guess which ones? You did very good. Can you guess which sentences are the lies? I have 3 children. True or false? Is number 1 true or false? I love snow. Is that true or false? I have a dog. True or false? Angel says number 1 is false. Put the number so I know which one you are talking about. Number 2, false. Angel says number 2 is false. Isa agrees. And how about number 3? I have a dog. True or false? Number 3, I have a dog. True or false? All right. Dun, 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 dun. Number 1 is false. I have 4 children. Number 2 is false. I do not love the snow. And number 3 is true. I have a dog. Great job, everyone. I hope you enjoyed that. Okay, so let's talk about sentence structure. Now, one thing, yeah, Angel, you got them all correct. Good job. And Isa, so did you. Very good. Okay, so on to the lesson. The first thing that is so important to know about sentence structure is that it's generally the same when you are writing and when you are speaking. So if you look at the 3 sentences that we've made here, this sentence is something that I would say, as well as I can write it. Okay, so we want to try to stay with the same sentence structure. Now this lesson, I have 33 minutes left to tell you all about sentence structure in English. I cannot possibly do all of the sentence structure information in one lesson. But there are 12 major tenses, and everybody says 12 tenses, oh my. So we can't possibly cover them in detail in this time frame. But the key to this is to master the present simple tense and to master verbs and the parts of speech. So let's make some lists here. Pronouns. Pronouns. There are 8 general pronouns, and then there's variations of those pronouns. Do you know what they are? I'm going to give you the first one, and I'm probably going to give you more answers than I had planned because our warm-up took a long time. So the first one is I. What other pronouns do you know? I, you, he, she, it, we, the plural you, and they. We start with those pronouns. We need those. They're very important to our sentences. They're actually usually the first word in a sentence, so they are very important. You know pronouns. Now give me some examples of verbs. Verbs. Give me some examples of verbs. There are 3 types of verbs. There are the to be verbs, which tell us how something is. There are verbs that show motion, action verbs, and there are linking verbs. Linking verbs are like the chain. They connect one thing to another. So come on, give me some verbs. We need verbs for our sentences. Give me some actions. I used love and hate and have Those are actually linking verbs. Love is a linking verb. Have is an action verb. Hello, are you out there? Where are your verbs? Oh, wash, that's a good one. Wash is an action verb. I need your help for this lesson. Come on, come on. All right, Carol White has action to go to come. Very good. Go and come. That's it. Good. Yes, to be verb. Are. Are is a to be verb. What other to be verbs do you know? Let's get a couple more. Smell for a linking verb. Stay is an action verb. Is, am. And a good way to test if a word is a verb is to find out if you can use a past tense form. If you can use a past tense form, then it is a verb. If you cannot put the word in past, it is not a verb. That's very important with verbs. Now we have nouns. Nouns are the next important part of our sentences. Uncountable and countable. So if I have pencils here, can we count pencils? Yes, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 pencils. So these are countable nouns. And that's important to know that we have to use an article with them when we talk about one. I have a pencil. Okay? And then uncountable nouns are things that are too small to count or usually liquid, like coffee. We can't count the liquid, we can only count the container that it's in. So I can have 4 cups of coffee, but I can't have 4 coffee. It's uncountable. Rice is another example of an uncountable noun because, yes, you could count every piece of rice, but that would take a long time. So we use it as an uncountable noun. And it's important to know that so you can put an article with the countable nouns and no article with the uncountable nouns. And articles, we'll get to those later. Yes, Carol, that's right. Linking verbs include hate and enjoy. Linking verbs are often about feelings. Is also a linking verb. We'll talk about that too. We don't have a lot of time to use examples to go through and get examples from you, but if you can give me a noun example before I leave this section, that would be great. I'm going to use rice, coffee, and pencils. Now, nouns are a person, place, or thing. Those are the 3 things you can use to remember if it's a noun: person, place, or thing. And we cannot change nouns into the past or into the present. They are always the same unless you're adding a plural s, pencils, for the countable nouns. We cannot add the s for uncountable nouns. So coffees would not be the correct way to use that. You would have to say cups of coffee. Now in English, yes, I see rubber, bread, wine, and water, all uncountable nouns. Great job, bread, wine, and water. uncountable meat, ham, cheese, and mail. Wow, very good with uncountable nouns. I love it. Great job, everyone. Okay, so let's talk about articles. There are 3. What are the 3 English articles? We have to put those with the nouns that are countable. And sometimes we use one of them with the uncountable nouns. What are they? The, very good. The is the first one. Let's make this a little pretty again. Okay, so we want the, and you got it. Good job, guys. So I see you are not beginners, but it's always good to review these things. The is when there's only one of it, or it's a specific thing. So if you are in a room and there's only one door, you're going to say, please open the door. You wouldn't say a door because there's only one. And there's also only one sun in the sky, so we're going to say the sun every time we refer to it. Or if you're speaking of a specific thing, please give me the pencil. It's a certain one that you want. And an are general. Is for the ones that sound like they begin with a consonant, and an is for the ones that sound like they begin with a vowel. Not that they actually begin with the letter, but that they sound like they begin with that letter. And that is very important to understand because our starts with an H, but we use an because it sounds like ah. That's a vowel sound. An hour. I will see you for an hour. Prepositions. Now, prepositions also have 3. They're time, place, and motion. So Carol had given us some examples where she said to go, and another word of to, let me see if I can find it, to stay, to come. Those are not prepositions in that sense when we use to right there. That is called an infinitive. That is the base form of the verb. So if we are talking about time, we are going to use at or in, and sometimes on for a day. Place is also at, in, and on. And then we have the ones of motion, but we can also use place as in front of, behind. These are prepositions of place. And motion is going to include things like to, from, for. Yes, good job, Carol. On, at, in, for are examples of time. Now, why are these so important? These are important because they are the absolute foundation of what you need to make a good sentence. Remember, we are talking about sentence structure today. And to make more complex sentences, we have to begin with the most simple sentence there is. Let's begin with a simple present tense that is used for talking about habits, repetition, general truths. Okay, I'm going to give you an example. We need to have 3 parts to complete a present simple sentence. We need a pronoun. I'm going to use I. We need a verb. We need a verb. I, let's say eat. Although we did not use this verb in our list, I would like to use it because it is an action. Action. Eat. The sentences up here that I made earlier for you, these are not really the type of sentences that I want to make for a simple present tense sentence example. I would like to use action verbs and not linking verbs or verbs to be. I eat. Yes, let's use another. Oh, good one, Carol. Let's use that. We're going to say she. And I want to use she because there's something very important. We need to add the S for he, she, it. Please do not forget the S on he, she, it, or you will not sound like you are natural or a very good English speaker. It's so important to remember to put the S on there. So I eat. She works. And these are good sentences. They have a pronoun and a verb. They could be complete, but we want to use a complement as well. Now, the complement here is not, oh, you look beautiful today. That's a compliment, but that's not a compliment in grammar. In grammar, we can say that the complement is the object of the sentence. All these sentences follow the subject, the verb, and the object, SVO. SVO. The complement is the rest of the thought. I eat cheese. Now, this is perfect. It's a sentence. But here, let's use a little bit more complex. Let's use a phrase. Because a complement is not only one word, it can often be a prepositional phrase, which would include a preposition, an article, and a noun. And that example would be, she works at the store. Please don't forget your period. She works at the store. Good. Good job. All right. Carol says, let's use we. We. Oh, I want to do something different. Yes, she works at the office. Perfect, Angel. Very good. Let's use something different than eat and work. And we'll just do one more example because we don't have time to go through a whole bunch of examples. One more action verb to get this sentence finished up. One more action verb. Okay, Angel, I like it. We run very fast. Very fast. Yes. Okay, and we can use that too, Iris. Very good. We have a dog. Okay, perfect. Now we're going to move on. Because when we begin with the simple present tense, we can modify the simple present tense from there. Okay, so something we have to remember now when we talk about any continuous tense, whether it's present continuous, past continuous, future continuous, present perfect continuous, or past perfect continuous, continuous always uses ing. Always uses ing on the verb. Any continuous tense. Okay? And it will also use the verb to be. To be. Okay? But present continuous is talking about things that are happening right now. Things that are happening right now. Actions that are unfinished or temporary things. I am living with my aunt during the coronavirus. This is temporary. When coronavirus is over, I will go live back at my house. Okay? So let's change these. I eat cheese. She works at the store. We run very fast. We have a dog, to present continuous. We can do this, right? Yeah. And then we need 4 things now. We need 4, okay? We need that pronoun. We need the verb to be, and we need the verb with ing, as well as the complement. I am eating cheese. Oh, and I see that Angel has given us a new sentence, and it's perfect. I am studying English. Let's make sure we capitalize English. I understand this is chat, but if you are making an actual paper for a school, for anything that you might be doing for study, English is a proper noun. We have to capitalize that. Okay, good. I am studying English. Let's change one of these as well. She works at the store, so we're going to change that to she, and we use is for he, she, it, is working at the store. And remember, we say them the same as we write them. So if you can learn to master the simple sentence structure, you can speak in English so much better. Yes, and good, good, good. I like it, Isa. And Carol, she is going to the shop. Okay, and Carol has, we are listening to you. Yes, good. We'll pop that one in here. I love how interactive you are. This is great. Are listening to you. And this word right here, this is a preposition, to you. It indicates emotion, to you. Okay, let's make a couple more lists. Adjectives, because we don't want to keep our sentences short and simple, right? We want to learn to speak and write with longer, complex sentences. Now, we can do that by adding adjectives and adverbs. Adjectives modify nouns. They describe the noun. There's only two places that you can put an adjective. You can put it right in front of the noun. And now I know that in Spanish, the adjective is placed behind the noun. So we would say red car in English, but in Spanish we would say carro rojo, right? Or coche rojo. So that red is the adjective. It describes the car, and it's coming after the sentence. So in English, it's very important to remember that that comes before the noun. It's very important. Okay, so we're going to say red car. Can you think of more examples? It describes it. So numbers are also adjectives. Numbers are also adjectives. It tells you something about that noun. Okay, colors. There's many, many adjectives. And then there is called the linking. They are linked to a pronoun. So when we say something like this one, we say I or he, or how about they smell bacon. Oh, I love bacon. They smell bacon. Now, this is not an action or a state of being. This is a linking verb, okay? And it is describing. No, I'm sorry, that is not correct. Let me write this like this. They are beautiful. Okay, beautiful. Beautiful is, sorry about that. Beautiful is an adjective. It is describing they. Oh, maybe it's a group of girls. Maybe it's a group of supermodels. Maybe it's some flowers. Oh, Carol, thank you. I think you are complimenting me. I don't think you're making a sentence. I think you're saying I'm a very good teacher. Thank you so much for that. But it is a good example of a sentence. You are, that's a linking verb, a very good teacher. So very good are at adverb and adjective. Connecting to teacher. Teacher is the adjective. Teacher is the noun, and it's being modified. It's being described by good. Okay, good. And very would be an adverb, because we're going to move on to adverbs. We only have 10 minutes and I have so much more to tell you. Okay, so adverbs, they modify many more things. Adjectives can only describe nouns. They can't do anything else. That's their only job. They're very important and they have a very big job. It's all about the nouns. Now, adverbs, do you see the word verb in there? Verb. They modify verbs and they modify nouns and they modify other adverbs and sometimes entire sentences like finally, we moved on. Okay, so it's saying this adverb finally, it's an adverb of frequency. Finally, I can't remember. I'm sorry, I don't remember exactly the grammar term. Adverbs of frequency are always, sometimes, often, never. And then we have connectings like finally, first, then, last. This is an adverb that describes the whole sentence. It comes at the end of something, okay? And the word very that Carol used in her sentence, very, is an adverb. That is an adverb. Usually, often, carefully. That's right, Carol. Those are all adverbs. And they're used to modify verbs, nouns, adverbs, and whole sentences. But remember, adjectives only describe nouns and they have to come right next to the noun or they link it. They're linked with a linking verb. And that's why it's important to know the difference in all of those verbs. That's why I told you that there are the 3 different types of verbs. It's important so that you can make your good sentences. Okay, great. You guys are doing great. Let's talk about the perfect tense. We've got to get this in because from there, we only have to change a few things to make different sentences. All right? And if we add some adverbs and adjectives to our sentences, we are listening to you closely. Okay? That is an adverb. We are listening to you closely. Adverbs are harder because they can move around in the sentence. They can be in a couple of different places. Okay, so let's see. She is always, here's another adverb. And here we've put it with the noun, we are putting that with the verb. She is always working at the store. I am eating smelly cheese. Smelly is an adverb. And I am working at the dirty store. We'll say the store is dirty. Okay? Dirty is a noun. It describes the state of the store. I am working at the big shop. The big shop, not the little one, the big one. Okay? That is an adjective, big. Okay, so let's go on to the perfect tense. The perfect tense, you have to remember when you see perfect, it's always going to have a form of have or has. Just like continuous. Continuous is going to have an ing verb. Perfect is going to include have or has. And then if you change it into past, it will be had. So it still includes the have or has, but it's in past. And the same thing for continuous. It's still going to include the ing verb in past, but it's going to have the verb to be in past. Okay. And then for perfect, you have to use the third verb form. That's called the past participle. The ing verb is called the present participle, and the past participle is the third verb form. So if we say go, I go home, I went home, I've gone home. So that's gone. Carol says she has studied French for years, and when we study another language, we start to understand why we need to study these different little parts of the language to make good sentences. And I know that from learning Spanish. So I can tell you where the verbs and the nouns are placed in another language could be different from English. And if we mix it up, we sound like we're not speaking good English. Okay, so our perfect verb is important in a perfect sentence. Our past participle verb is important in our perfect sentence. And these are used to express actions. They've started in the past and they continue now. So if we use studied, I have studied French for years, Carol's example. I have started in the past. The study started in the past. I have studied French for years. And it could be that maybe she just stopped now to start studying English, but she will continue to study French in the future is also possible. Okay? They are also used for life experiences. I have lived in Ecuador. I have lived. I is your pronoun. You always need that. Have is the second part that we need for the present perfect or for any perfect. I have lived. It's a regular verb, so it is just an ed ending and it doesn't change into the third form. Lived in Ecuador. That's a life experience. It's something I did. Okay, so that's the example of that one. And we'll use Carol's example, and let's change that to he, because here we have to use has. He, she, it, always those exceptions. But we do not change the verb here. It stays as lived. Oops, I'm sorry. It stays as studied. Studied French for years. Good job. And this is a preposition. And so that's why we say that phrases are what make up our complement. Okay. And if we add some things here like diligently, he has diligently studied French for years, then we're adding our adverbs and our adjectives to make our sentence longer and more interesting. And let's talk one moment. I have 3 minutes about the present perfect continuous. Now, this is simple because you already know, right? Continuous is going to include a form of the ing verb. And perfect continuous, we have to add the verb to be. That follows the same rule that we talked about up here. We need that verb to be. And in present continuous, that verb to be is been. It's been. So that fills 2 of our rules. It fills the third form of the verb, and it fills the need to have a verb to be. Okay, so we're going to put here, we'll change those other sentences up here. I have lived in Ecuador. I have been. I have been. Let's make this a little bit wider. I have been living. Right, very good, Angel. There for 3 years. That's right, very good. So that is used to talk about things that are not finished yet. They started in the past, they're not finished, or they have a present result, okay? What happened in the past and it influences the future. So an example of that is I have lost. I have been searching for my keys and am frustrated, okay? So that's a present result. All right. I have been searching for my keys for hours. And now I'm tired. Or now I'm angry because I can't find them. All right, great. So I hope I'm not going too fast. I am out of time and I had so much more to tell you. I guess if you want to learn some more, you have to come and book a lesson with me. Again, I'm Teacher D. My number is 709-9499. I'll be back on Wednesday to talk about why some parts of English are really tricky to learn. So I'll see you then. Thank you so much. I hope that this lesson has been helpful to you and that you learned something new. Have a great day. Goodbye. Thank you.
Well, I'm proud of me. I blew it.
Yeah, but you rocked it late to work. Don't really ever do that.
Yeah, I'm never late.
Number 3, British. Having a mare. Having a mare.
Having a mare. A nightmare. Like, horrible, real nightmare. In reality, basically.
Very good. That's exactly
That
it.
was a lot easier than previously.
Yeah, well, I thought I'd go with you. Having a mare. You were having a mare before.
I was having a mare.
Yeah.
Not understanding anything she was saying.
Yeah, exactly. So there you have it. There's our British and American slang. Tell us what you thought of it. Did you understand it? And we'll see you next time.
My name is Vũ Nguyễn. Tên tôi là Vũ Nguyễn. It's really amazing thing for me. From italki, I can meet people around the world, and they can give me more energy to live and more inspiration to live in the world also. Very magical. Yeah. When I can go on lesson and I feel that I'm doing a very good job, and then working at home is a very wonderful thing. I think that I can do something, and I'm doing something here. I think that I can say idea and talk with people. That is the first motivation for me to come here. The second thing that I can have some money for my life to make my life become better. And work with each other. There are many language, but also same idea and culture and everything else in the life. And through the learning and teaching, and we can share more ideas. And when we meet new people, and we think that we are discovering a new universe or a new area or something like that.
So it's wonderful that we have this diversity, and we should just learn from each other. But if you at least just learn a second language and expose yourself to a second culture. Not only do you understand that culture better, but you understand your own culture better. And if most people just did that and were talking openly and honestly about themselves and other people, I don't think there would be any diversity problems. We're all learning from each other.
Yeah, very good. Later on, yeah, the student and the teacher can meet.
Even for those able to reach countries willing to take them in, rebuilding their lives and careers in unfamiliar societies often proves challenging. For one group of refugees living in Istanbul, teaching online Arabic lessons to students across the world has offered a way to overcome these obstacles and establish new hope. As well as earning income, they have been able to share their experiences with people from different cultures and backgrounds, cultivating meaningful relationships with students.
My name is Rahaf and I'm from Latakia, Syria. Previously, I had a normal but busy life.
My name is Abdullah, and I'm a Syrian guy from Homs, the capital of funny jokes.
Hello, my name is Amr. I'm an Arabic teacher on italki. I'm from Egypt.
Hi, I'm Hussam. I'm from Syria, Al Hasaka, and I'm a teacher on italki now.
3 years ago, I came to Turkey, to Istanbul. Many challenges came in one time. Leaving a country is not, or leaving your home. This is one, it's like fish out of the group.
I mean, yeah, the challenge that my career is almost dead. This is the only challenge now. Online teaching, yeah, it solves this problem, of course, because you can just be wherever and get online and start your class.
What italki offered me is like new students I have never met from another continent, way far from me. Once they want to like learn my language, I feel like this is like, I feel sometimes emotional.
italki, Besta College and NGO Small Projects Istanbul are working together on this project.
You know, it's important for people to kind of see and get to know someone who's experiencing a difficult time or who has had a difficult past, and to just remember people are people are people. We need to remember that, you know, we have a shared humanity, and I think that gets lost a lot in the media or in the news.
I'm teaching Arabic for first-year students of Arabic in America. We both enjoy teaching and learning online. It's an amazing experience for me as a teacher. I find it so helpful for me, also for the students.
Going into it, people might like like have these assumptions that you're supposed to like learn something about refugees or like understand something new. But I think it's like most valuable to realize that like you're not really learning anything new other than that like this is like just another person just like you.
My tutor Mohammed was like so nice and so willing to work with my level of speaking and comprehension.
At the beginning, teaching online was a new experience for me, and it had a lot of challenges, but now I'm used to it. And honestly, I am enjoying teaching Arabic on italki.
I care now. I care more. I care more about the language. I care more about my students. Teaching Arabic is something valuable for me. Maybe give me hope, or I feel gain hope. It's reward for me.
Hi, I'm a language learning app.
Can we move on?
This is a dog. Incorrect. You haven't reached this lesson yet. Now repeat after me. This person eats bread.
Fine. This person eats bread.
That's better. Moving on.
¿Cansado de aplicaciones de idiomas inflexibles? Usa italki para aprender como tú quieras aprender y estudiar cualquier idioma con nativos.
Meet Peter. He is learning Chinese. He was studying on his own with textbooks, flashcards, and apps, but is still having problems with basic conversation. She loves learning English. We are able to get personal online lessons. Simple steps. 1. Select the language. English, Spanish, Chinese, French, Japanese. italki has teachers for every language. 2. Select the teacher. With italki, you can choose from thousands of experienced teachers from all over the world. And 3. Schedule a lesson. Online language lessons are the next best thing to living in a foreign country. With italki, you'll have a personal language teacher and real conversations with native speakers. Every day, thousands of people are connecting to international teachers through italki. Find a teacher today and become fluent in the foreign language.
Hi, my name's Tom. I'm from the US, I'm a chemical engineer, and I'm passionate about language learning. I've used italki to learn 8 I grew up in college. I heard about italki from a positive review from a famous polyglot. I was amazed to discover that I could learn any language I want, one-on-one, and for the fraction of the price as offline classes. I thought, how is this even possible? I immediately signed up with 2 teachers in Norwegian. One teacher, we would have conversation lessons and go through a textbook, and with the other teacher, we would go through worksheets and chat about random things. So essentially, I structured the classes in a way that would suit my own learning style, which never would have happened without italki. Within a year, I was relatively fluent in Norwegian. I was so happy that I could actually go to the country and use the language in a practical setting. And the best part is that I really enjoyed the learning process. I thought, why stop there? I picked up Italian and mixed my interest in Italian cooking with lessons on italki. After learning Italian for a year and going to northern Italy, I was able to easily get around and communicate with people. I then decided to set myself a personal goal of passing an advanced Italian exam, and my teacher on italki helped me to achieve this. I was hooked. I'd found the ultimate formula for learning a language from scratch and staying motivated. I would book a holiday in a new country in 1 year's time so that I could put the language into practice. I did the same with Japanese, French, German, Russian, Czech, and Hungarian, and even explored Chinese, Thai, Serbian, Farsi, and Sicilian. From this process, I made so many valuable friendships and connections that has improved not only my communication, but also my confidence. Whether I'm watching the news in German, reading about Italian politics, speaking to my cats in Norwegian, on the phone to my friends in Bergen, or watching fitness and nutrition videos in Czech, I find a way to get at least some practice of one of the languages every day. I found the best way to stay motivated is to align my interests with my language learning, and in that way it doesn't take over my whole life, which people often believe. I find this way of learning on italki so much fun.
Lingvi es una aplicación móvil que ayuda a practicar idiomas de manera instantánea conectando a usuarios disponibles en todo el mundo. Con Lingvi encontrarás personas nativas dispuestas a ayudarte a practicar el idioma que desees aprender. Los usuarios con tiempo libre se mostrarán disponibles para recibir llamadas y de esta forma ganarán recompensas ayudando a otros usuarios. Así es como conectamos personas de forma colaborativa y gratuita en nuestra aplicación. Únete a nuestra comunidad, haz nuevos amigos y mejora en todos los idiomas que quieras. Descarga Lingvi y practiquemos juntos.
Este es Peter. Está aprendiendo chino. Ha intentado estudiar por su cuenta con libros, tarjetas de vocabulario y aplicaciones móviles, pero sigue teniendo problemas para hablar. Esta es María. Le encanta aprender inglés, pero no tiene oportunidades para ponerlo en práctica. Con italki, Peter y María pueden recibir clases personales online para hablar con fluidez en otro idioma. Tú también puedes aprender un idioma en italki. Empieza hoy en 3 simples pasos. Primero, elige un idioma. Inglés, alemán, chino, francés, japonés. Italki tiene profesores para cualquier idioma. Segundo, escoge un profesor. Con italki puedes escoger entre miles de profesores con experiencia de todo el mundo. Tercero, elige el horario de tu lección. Las clases de idiomas online son el mejor método para aprender con profesores nativos. Con italki tendrás un profesor de idiomas personal y conversaciones reales con hablantes nativos. Cada día miles de personas aprenden con profesores internacionales a través de italki. Encuentra un profesor hoy y domina el idioma de tu lección.
Hi everyone, it's Vicente and I teach Spanish on italki.com. And today we will be talking about 3 grammar rules to follow when you start learning Spanish. The first one is that, as you have already heard, Spanish verbs are always conjugated. That means that they have to match with the subject of the sentence. For example, there are different pronouns in Spanish. Yo, tú, él, ella, usted, nosotros, nosotras, vosotros, vosotras, and ellos, ellas, y ustedes. All these pronouns have their own conjugations, and it's very common for beginners to mix them up. So remember this. When you start to conjugate the verbs, they have to match. The second rule is very important as well. The Spanish nouns and adjectives has to be in the same level. Let me explain you this. If you have a noun that is feminine and plural, for example, it is the same with the articles las, female and plural. We use this article because, as I say, it's female and plural. The third rule I already mentioned before, and be careful, English speakers, because the adjectives in Spanish go after the noun, not before like in English. This is very common for students that learn Spanish and already speak or know English. When I say las mujeres españolas, españolas is the adjective, and I put it after las mujeres. In English, it would be the Spanish woman, but not in Spanish. Okay, there are some occasions where the adjectives go before the nouns. That is true, but normally this use comes out at intermediate level or advanced level, so do not worry when you are a beginner. Thanks for watching this video, and don't forget to subscribe to the italki YouTube channel over here. Take a lesson with me on italki.com by clicking on my teacher profile link in the description. Hasta luego! Hi everyone, it's Vicente and I teach Spanish on italki.com, and today I will be talking about 7 Spanish words that are similar to their English counterpart. These words are also known as cognates. What a cognate is? A cognate is a word that has the same linguistic derivation that another word, and it looks similar, and when you pronounce it, it sounds almost the same. And here I will give you 7 cognates so you can use them in Spanish as well. The first one is alcohol in Spanish. Guess you know what it means, because it sounds pretty similar than in English, doesn't it? Number 2 is conclusión. This one has a different pronunciation in Spanish, but you will understand definitely when you start learning Spanish. Number 3, hobby. This one is completely similar. We basically took this word from English. Number 4, individual. Of course, it's the same word, just different pronunciation. The next one, number 5, is piercing. Yes, we use this word with the same pronunciation and meaning. Next one, number 6, is informal. I like to use this one in my lessons to explain ways to greet and say goodbye, because it's similar in English and is a word that the students understand very quickly. And the last are some words related to sports. If you're learning Spanish and you like sports, you're lucky, because most of the words are cognates, like football, tennis, baseball, volleyball, hockey, water polo, golf, surf, and so on. As you can see, almost all sports are cognates. So, talking about your hobbies should not be difficult. As you can see, there are many, and I would like to remember you that there are hundreds of cognates, and if you check them, you can be ready to your first Spanish lesson. Thanks for watching the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the italki YouTube channel for more tips on learning Spanish. Take a lesson with me on italki.com by clicking on my teacher profile link in the description. Hasta luego!
Hi everyone, it's Caroline here, and I teach English on italki. Today I am going to be talking about business idioms, or idioms you might hear in your office or in your workplace. A student asked me a really good question the other day. He asked me whether, because I'm a native English speaker, do I know every single idiom? And the answer is no. Idioms are phrases or expressions that come from a particular place or a particular age group. So idioms are different in the UK to idioms in the United States. I have chosen 5 business idioms to talk to you about today, and you may hear them in an office in the UK or in the States. So hopefully they will be super useful for you. Idiom number 1 is the big picture. Imagine you go into a meeting and your boss says to you, you've lost sight of the big picture. What does that mean? That means that you are thinking too much about the small details of the project, and you are so interested in those little details that you don't remember what it is you're trying to achieve. So always keep sight of the big picture. The second idiom is to go the extra mile. Now imagine you're in an interview and the interviewer says to you that they are looking for someone who always goes the extra mile. What does that mean? Does it mean they want you to run around the office every day? No, it means they want you to do more than just what is in the job description. They want you to go that little bit further and to take on extra responsibilities. That is going the extra mile. The third idiom is a win-win situation. A win-win situation means everybody gains something. A really good example of this is these videos that I'm making for italki. Italki gains some content for their website, some lessons for their learners, and I have a platform where students can see me and book lessons with me. It's a win-win. Italki wins and Caroline wins. The fourth idiom is word of mouth. So an example of this is, think about how you found out about italki. Did you find italki by searching on Google? Or did you find italki because one of your friends recommended it to you? Recommendations from friends are word of mouth. It can be positive or it can be negative. If your company gets bad word of mouth, it is going to be a very difficult time for your company because people really listen to the opinions of their friends. So make sure whatever you do, you have good word of mouth about it. The fifth and final business idiom is to touch base. My manager used to say this to me a lot. To touch base means to have a very quick and short meeting about a project or something that you are working on. It might only be 5 minutes of your time, but in that time, you will check that your understanding of the project is the same as your manager's understanding of the project. So I have a challenge for you. In your next lesson, I want you to ask your teacher if you can touch base about what you have learned in your lessons so far. This could be 5 minutes at the end of the lesson where you review all of the different subjects that you have been studying. You're touching base about the things you have covered so far. Thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe to italki by clicking somewhere. And you can take a lesson with me by clicking on my teacher profile in the description box. Have a good day, everyone. Bye.
Welcome back to the Stop Being Boring When Speaking English video series. When speaking to native English speakers, it's useful to use a variety of vocabulary to make your conversation sound more interesting and flow. Why not spice up your language a little bit and impress others with your speaking abilities? In this next video, we will take a look at some American and British slang.
Number 1, American. John Hancock. John Hancock. So that's a person. It's a name of a person, yes. And it's American slang. What do you think it means? I just got John Hancock. Does it mean like wasted? Certainly not. Give me an example. Okay, so can I please have your John Hancock at the bottom of this paper? Come on, you gotta get it now. Is it your signature? Yes, you got it! That was easy. Okay, awesome. Number 1, British. Peak. What does peak mean? Like, taking a peek. Yeah, that's sorry, that's not taking a peek. That's not slang. This is taking a peek. Well, that's just like taking a peek, that's not slang. Oh. Like in a slang peak. Like the peak of a mountain? That's not slang, that's actually that is the peak of a mountain. I don't know, tell me. Okay, let me give you an example. You go out one night. Yeah. How was your night? It was so peak. I just got fired. That's so peak. Exactly. Cool. So, oh, I got it. Yeah. Okay. So the peak. 2, American. Jacked. Jacked. Does that mean like hench? What does hench mean? Like say you go to the gym. Don't answer back with the slang word. So the British equivalent of jacked would be hench, I think. Okay. So if someone's like really ripped. Yes, exactly. Okay. So hench. Go to the gym, work out a lot. Like, whoa, look at him, he's so jacked. We would say hench. Number 2, British. peg, peg, peg.
Gosh. Hello. Hi, everybody, and welcome to this italki session. Bienvenidos a todos. Let me know if you're here. Benvenuti. It's really great to have you with us again, and it's really good to be discussing with you. I hope that you're all with me. Just leave a little chat saying that you're with me, and if you haven't been on the channel before, then just let me know which country you're from. I am going to be talking about something different today. All right, so I am going to be talking about working across cultures. Working across cultures. Okay, so and what that means and how we can use language to develop our ability to engage cross-culturally. All right, so just let me know, are you here? Are you with us? Yeah, it'll be good. Oh, good, Carol, good to see you. Lovely to see you. Danielle, good morning. I think I know where you're from, so don't worry about that. And then we're going to go slowly through a presentation of mine. So I'm going to start off. Let me do that present actually. I think it's easier for you to see. So we're going to start with a presentation. And we're going to talk about a division of cultures into hot and cold. Okay, so hot cultures are generally found in areas where there's hot weather, and cold cultures are found in areas where there's cold weather. Okay, but that's such a generalization. Apollonia from Brazil. Wow, great. Even further afield than normal. So we are talking about many types of cultures, okay? Generalizations work a little bit, okay? But they're not very accurate. It helps to have a generalization to begin with. So we're going to talk about generalizations, okay? All right, and then we're going to talk about where you come from and how this might impact your work culture. All right, so in hot cultures and cold cultures, you get this one feature called group orientation or individual orientation. Okay, let me go to the next slide so that we can make that more clear. My laptop seems to be a bit bouncy this morning. Let me move that book slightly. That's better. Now it won't bounce around. Okay. Okay, group cultures are found in hot cultures, and individualistic cultures are found in cold cultures. Okay, so when we start looking at it, you will understand what I mean, and then we can work through how we interact with other cultures when we are speaking, when we are having meetings, when we're having expectations, okay? All right, so I will explain things slowly, all right, for those of you who are not so speedy, so in English, and I will explain slowly and clearly. All right. Okay. Now we're talking about group orientation, which is generally the hot cultures. Okay. So, but before we do that, I must just mention that sometimes you can have a hot culture can be a country, or it can be within a country. So New York might be a cold culture, and southern states might be a warm culture, or southern Italy might be a warm culture, a hot culture, and the northern Italy might be a colder culture, but not the same as perhaps Germany. So you're always talking about relative terminology. You're always talking about something that is relative to something else. And your personality might be very cold culture, you're not a cold person, but you have a cold culture, but you live in a hot culture. So we're going to explore this and decide where you are on the scale and where your culture is on the scale and how that's going to influence you in business. Okay, so when you are a group-oriented person, your primary identity comes from the group or family. Okay, so definitely, as we've seen in Italy during the last little while, we see how, and Spain actually, we see how much the group, the family is important. Okay, it's extremely important. And in some criminal gangs, it's also very important that that whole family structure forms the basis for criminal gangs. So this is not a critique. We're not saying anything negative about either group. It's just different. Okay, so there is an African proverb, I am because we are. In other words, the group is always important. The group is primary. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a very different example, okay? So in the North America, there's a group called the Amish, and they are very strongly group oriented, not so much family, but Amish group oriented. So their clothing will identify them. Their clothing prevents individualism, but they like that. They want to not stand out in a crowd. They want to be modest and to look the same. The men wear beards. Hello, Camila. It's good to have you. And then they want to, their opinions and understanding of life is defined by the group. That's quite an extreme example of group. You don't express an opinion that is too different to the group, because it's not acceptable. So yeah, that's one thing. Then you get, of course, the Western Italian or Spanish person, where the group, the family is very important. Not so much the culture, not as much as the culture surrounding, but the family of the group. It forms the group. Okay, so very much, I don't know how much this is true in Italian or Spanish cultures, but you are defined by belonging to a group. The personal I, you're primarily defined by your family or your group. The group defines your value. So individualism is a little bit frowned on. And so I'm going to soon go through a bit of a test to see where you fit on the line and where your culture fits on the line. Okay. Tell me first, though. Okay, you can define your culture as North Spain or South Spain. You can define yourself as Spain. Okay, that's fine, not a problem. But I want you to find a culture that your own culture, define where you come from. Okay. So make you decide where you're going to put the borders of your culture, okay, and write it on the screen for me. Tell me, I am so just put there North Spain or northern Brazil or something like that, and we can go from there. It's helpful to know where your demarcation is, where your borders are. Okay. Yes, Camilla, it's like you say, it's like say you're the result of the group of the people. Yeah, you share. So you are very, very much the result of that group. Yes, very, very much. But you also will never step outside of that. I'll go through that in a moment. And I think Western group orientation is a little bit different. Okay, but tell me, which group are you going to define? Daniela is from Italy, and I want to know, is he going to define himself north or south? Okay, or is he going to define himself as total Italy? Then Carol, are you, yeah, Camila, where are you going to choose your borders? Let me know. It will be very interesting discussion that we will have. Just type in the comments, what are you going to choose as your borders? The whole of your country or not? For example, we might be contrasting Germany with Spain. Okay, then you can see there's a broad definition. Carol, yeah, northeast of Italy. Okay, you're going to define that. Daniela, South Italy. Daniela, now we're going to go. That's fantastic. We're going to go and see what the differences are, and remember some of these points. Okay, so my hierarchy in the group enables me to speak up if my level is high enough. Okay, so for instance, the example that I used, the Amish people, women don't speak up at all. Okay, and then men speak up if they are sufficiently got the power to do so. The older they get, the more they can speak up. All right, in the African tradition, you can express your opinion if you're a young man, but nobody really listens to you till you get to be really old. Okay, unless you happen to be of royal blood. Okay, so in the African tradition, not even decisions about who to marry, sorry, that's not how to marry, or how to marry, yes, or who to marry are your own. So sometimes who to marry is quite extreme. It gets chosen for you. How to marry is in the African tradition. And then authority figures, the people on top, the bosses, the leaders, the chiefs, they must take authority. People expect them to be authoritative. Okay, all right. In Latin America, Camila, every country has different cultures with differences about relationship and lifestyle. Okay, so I don't know what it is you mean. Okay, maybe I think you might be talking about hierarchy. Hierarchy is the levels of importance, okay, of people. So the people at the top have got more say, have more power than the people at the bottom. Okay, so the people at the bottom, they can say something, but nobody listens to them. Not really. Whereas the people at the top, if they say something, people listen. Okay. Then a hierarchy, it's HIERARCHY. And that, yeah, that's it. And it's in the little box there. Aga, hello. Hi, Eric. It's good to see you. Edith, Aga, Ricardo, good. Marina, Ekaterina, okay. Grazia, Edith, From France. Oh, fantastic. You're here. Yay. Please do join in with us. I didn't see them. I thought they were not here. Please just write. Okay, so Edith is defining her group from France. Aga is defining his or her group as Krakow. Eric, I don't know where. Okay, yes. Carol, my father and my mother have a strong hierarchy in my family. That is what I'm talking about. That is what I'm talking about. Yes, Lisa, well done. Hierarchy. The word is there. I don't know if you can see it. It's beneath the two stripes of yellow. There's a little box on the left, and that says hierarchy. Okay. Aga, why don't you tell us, how do you relate? Okay, why don't you tell me, in your culture that you've chosen, is Carol's just saying father and mother are the hierarchy? Why don't you all tell me, is the hierarchy very important in your culture that you've chosen? Okay, on a scale of 1 to 10. So let's make it, okay, 0 is absolutely no importance. 1, a little bit. 2, a little bit more. So 10 is very, very strong hierarchy. It can be village hierarchy. It can be family hierarchy. It can be chieftainship or kings and queens, that kind of thing, that hierarchy. That's what's important. It's very, very, very strong tradition, and you can't really, hierarchy is very, very important. Okay, let me know how important it is. Okay, so in that, authority figures must take authority. In other words, they must act and do what they think is right. They don't consult those lower than them. Okay, so in the African tradition, if you're going to get married, your parents will decide how you get married, what traditions you will hold to. What you want is of no importance. It's the family thing, okay? So even in marriage, so that's very important when it comes to the business world. And you can imagine that when people expect to be told what to do, there's a problem there. So we must just actually, I did correct that. Sorry, I did correct that word consulting with people. There's an L in. I don't know why it went back. Anyway, let me know. Is hierarchy important? 0, no. 10, yes. 7, a little bit. Let me know how important your bigger culture, not your own culture, bigger culture sees hierarchy. Let me know. It would be nice to know. Yeah, nothing yet. So I will just wait and see if people will tell me how important is hierarchy. How important is the people are the people in charge? Okay. All right, we haven't got there yet. Okay. In the past in Italy, says Carol, the priest of the town and the village had a strong power of hierarchy, and the importance is now 7. Thank you. Thank you. Latin America, Camila, again, has a strong hierarchy, including when they're adults. Interesting. Okay. The families are very influenced by close relations, and they're sometimes dependent. Yeah, on them. Yeah, that's interesting. So what would you say? Daniele, I think Italy still has hierarchy, especially in rural Italy. Daniele, what would you, Daniele, what would you, I can't get the O right. What would you say is the most, who has the authority? Who has the hierarchy in southern Italy? Is it of the village or is it of the nuclear family, the mother and father and child unit? That's what nuclear family means. So is it just in family? Is it a religious circle? Is it the village? You tell me. Okay, so sometimes parents influence decisions like what career to follow, says Camila, or make decisions for you. They make decisions for you. Yeah. Aga and Edith and Grazia and Eric, why don't you type there? I can see your comments now. Why don't you let me know a little bit, how strong is it? Just put a number down from 0 to 10. How strong is hierarchy in your country? I just want to check something. Right. Okay. Daniele says, I think it's still patriarchal and more religious than Northern Italy. Okay. So very patriarchal, that's interesting. And more religious than Northern Italy. So the people who have the power are the men and the priests and bishops and whatever else you have there. Okay. Right. That's interesting. Okay. I wonder, yes, what kind of influence they have over your lives. Very, very interesting. I love these discussions. You see, when we are working in a culture, even though, say now I went to Italy, I would need to work. I would need to be aware of even these things because they play a part even in the workplace. So it's really, really important. Okay, so now I'm going to go to the next one. Okay, sorry, I'm going to go back. Right, okay. So with the group provides, yes. Yeah, Daniela says it's not so much, it's not so influential anymore, at least nowadays. Okay, that's interesting. Okay, now your group provides protection. Okay, you can see that some criminal gangs use this, all right? But your group does provide protection. You will not be alone in your old age. You will be looked after. Your group will make sure that you have food. Your group will make sure that they look out for work opportunities for you. That's why family connections are so important. Okay, that's just cultural. Okay, so the how you can state it is, I am as much a part of you as you are of me. In the group, I am as much a part of you as you are of me. So I am going to look after you like you look after me. Okay, so that's what the group is about. Okay. All right, here we have the place of shame and honor. And if even, I think, let me know how much shame and honor plays a part still in your cultures, okay? So the place of shame and honor, you can think in Arabic countries, that's very, very, very important. If you do something wrong, your entire family is shamed and cannot show their faces. They cannot they are shunned. That's the word, shunned. S-H-U-N-N-E-D. People will not, I'm explaining the word, people will not have anything to do with them. Okay? So tell me now, okay, so if you think of the Arabic cultures, the person who does the wrong is killed in order to remove the shame. That's not so much anymore, but it does happen. Okay, so to remove the shame, they have to remove the person from the family. Okay, it's because otherwise the family cannot get business, they cannot socialize, they cannot do anything. They can move, that's all they can do. It literally means suicide unless the person pushes the person who did it out. Okay, so let me know about this shame and honor. What do you think? How does it affect your culture? Gracia, Edith, Aga, Eric, let me know. Does it affect your culture or not? Not 1, 2, 3. I think most cultures have some honor. So there has to be, I would imagine most cultures have about 3, maybe the honor of your country could be at stake. Carol says, yeah, some cultures still live with these kind of rules, but old people are sent to old age homes where they are parked. That's right. They're parked there and left there and abandoned. Yeah. Yes, Japan is very strong with this, I believe. I also believe that. The shame and honor, Japan is extremely strong. China also has it. Korea also has it. But Japan is one of the strongest in terms of shame and honor. Okay. So that would be a 10. All right. Okay. Then you're automatically included in the group. All right. There's no, so if you are at work, you will be included in the group. They will assume that you're going, if they say, we're going to, after work, we are going for drinks, they will assume that you are part of that. They will not ask you, they will assume you come with them. Okay, you don't have to be asked. Then I'm going to go to the right-hand side. Everyone belongs. You don't see someone on their own. It is seen as odd to be alone. Now let me know about Italy and Spain and France. Can you, if you see somebody on their own that you know, is it important to go and talk to them, to bring them in? Tell me, let me know. Okay. Shame is present in the north of Italy. Ah, okay. But it could be about a 7. That's interesting. I didn't know that. I wonder how interesting. That's very interesting. I didn't expect that. That is very fascinating. I would love to hear more comments. Where do you think your culture lies? I'm going to ask you where your personal culture lies after this, okay? But only afterwards. All right. I want to give you the words for describing different cultural types. I want you to give you the ability to understand and work cross-culturally, but we will solve problems together. We will solve intercultural problems together today. And that is, we're going to improve our English in order to do that. All right. Now, I will give you an example of automatic inclusion in the group. When I go on a hike, I'm very grateful because in South Africa, if I'm walking alone, most of the time, people will come and join me. Black African people will come and join me mostly. If I'm tired or behind the group, they will come and walk with me. They will not leave me alone. They will not allow me to walk alone. That is something that is very interesting. Okay, so privacy can be offensive. If you want your space, if you want to be alone, it can be seen as very offensive. They don't understand it. Okay, so the group cultures do not understand privacy as much because it can seem, aha, great, Carol, you're really going for this. This is fantastic. Daniela, what about you? And Aga, Edith, Grazia, Eric, yeah, Ricardo, yeah. Okay, privacy is when you're being private on your own, keeping your own little world. So Carol says privacy is important. So there is a mixture here. Privacy is important in northern Italy. You will see a lot of people on their own, sitting alone in the park, working alone in their office. Okay, now I must tell you that office culture can be quite different to home culture. That's why it's very difficult. Yeah, it can be seen as rude. Yes. Yes, Danielle, everyone has the right to privacy. That's absolutely correct. But in some cultures, that's just not acceptable. Privacy is offensive. All right. But Danielle says in southern Italy, everyone does have a right to privacy. That's good. I think that's democratic, the democracy coming through there. Yeah, Camilla, it can be seen as rude. Yeah. So Camilla, that's new for you because in some cultures to be alone isn't a problem. That's right. Absolutely. So we're talking about the group-oriented cultures, and you can see how they differ a little bit, which is why it is hard to define. In the north, people respect privacy. In the north, people respect privacy. Yes, Daniela, in Guatemala, where I was, privacy was very, very difficult for them to understand in some of groups, yeah, in some of the groups, and when in an African culture as well, privacy is it is understood because we used to interrelating, but it's not. It's just if you were an African person, they would not understand it at all. They would come and talk to you. I will come back to this. Okay, right. Okay. I will give you an example. If you climb onto a bus for a long journey, 1 hour, 2 hours, you will get to know your neighbor's life story by the end of the journey. You will talk to them and you will know everything you could possibly know in 1 hour that can fit into 1 hour in that bus journey. Okay, but if you climb onto the tube in New York and try to talk to somebody, they will look at you and think, oh my goodness, are you a serial murderer? Why are you talking to me? Okay, so it's very different all over the world. And you can see how that can lead to cross-cultural clashes in the workplace if you are working cross-culturally. All right. So let's just go to the next bit. let's go to the individual. All right. Now I am going to ask you where you have created a little group for culture. So Krakow or France or Madrid or North Italy, South Italy. Tell me how far your culture lies on the group scale or on the individual scale. I'll tell you how to do that afterwards. And then about yourself. Tell me, how far are you group oriented or individual oriented? Okay, focused. Are you more individualistic or are you more of a group person? And I might then tell you where I stand. Okay, I will tell you that in South Africa, it is difficult to define one culture because we have different groups of people with very strong and very different cultures, more different than anywhere else in the world. Our cultures are at opposite ends of the spectrum. And yeah, so we cannot define one group culture. Okay, so an individualistic culture is I define myself on my own terms. Okay, good. Daniele already knows he tends to be individualistic, and from what I know of you on italki, I would agree with that. I have engaged with you quite a bit, and yeah, I know I can see that you're an individualistic person. Yeah. I decide who I am. Okay, my group does not have a say in who I am. I decide that. I don't have to ask anybody else. I don't have to consider anybody else. And I decide who I am. So, for example, TED Talks, psychology, it's very, very individualistic, okay? Very Western cold culture. There is some aspect where it could be some group, but you will know that psychology says nobody must interfere with you. You must decide who you are. That's Western psychology. It does not fit into Asia. It doesn't fit into the Arab culture. It doesn't work. So there's a bit of a clash there. Camila says, I think we are now living immersed in technology where everyone is very individualistic and doesn't care about others. Okay, individualistic people can care about others, but others aren't that important. So Camila, overall now, yeah, I think we're all living in an individualistic culture with lockdown in some sense. Okay, in South Africa, we have been very group oriented. So we are focusing on getting meals to the poor. Okay, I will do so, Camilla. I will write it. Okay. In lockdown, we are focusing on other people as much as possible. We are calling other people. We are giving to the poor. We are giving money. We are giving food. We are giving blankets. Yeah. Lockdown can be, Daniele says, it can be a positive thing. Yeah, I think it can certainly be a positive thing. It can help you to focus. It can help you to think more clearly. It can help you to work on your own psychology. It can help you to be creative. Absolutely, absolutely. It is impossible to be totally individualistic. You're right, Carol. Absolutely. It is totally impossible. It's not just difficult, it's impossible. We cannot survive without others, even if they are slightly more distant. Okay, so yes, you're absolutely right. You can't live on an island by yourself. You will go crazy. That's a truth. You need other people for ideas, for like Daniela, when you're talking to me, you can express an opposite point of view or a different point of view, and so we actually build an argument or a theory. Okay. So, oh gosh, I see the italki people aren't talking. Maybe I didn't respond. Okay. Right. So, okay, I am an individual. Do you know this word? I think, therefore I am. Who said that? I think, therefore I am. The French people, come on, tell me. Tell me. It was Descartes. Okay, it was Descartes. According to the Western theories or understanding, some of the Russians actually say one of the Russian guys actually said that first, and Descartes only followed him. I don't know. It is interesting. So I think, therefore I am, is a central tenet or theme or something like that, idea of the cold cultures. Okay. Now you can see how Italy is a mixture, so is Spain. Brazil, what do you think? What do you think? Okay, so my opinion is important and valid no matter who I am. So a 16-year-old who knows nothing about life, their opinion is still important, just like an old person. Okay, even when you have valid opposition or people who are much older and much wiser. All right, so I am going to now ask you, let me see if there's a bit more on individual present, let me finish the individual first. Okay, so I am distinct from the group. Okay, so Daniela says the best thing, in his opinion, is to try to create your own personality. Using someone influential, so allowing yourself to be influenced by someone who's important to you instead of taking part in a group that always chooses for you. Okay, so Daniela says there are people who influence you. You do develop your own personality, but with someone who influences you or several people who you respect, I guess, rather than the group deciding for you. Absolutely. And the people who have changed history have always stood up to the group. Now, I think, I can't remember the name, Impastito, Giuseppe. I think, yeah. So Carol, you're showing how much individualism is important to you. Individualism is important to you by that sentence. I like the sentence. My opinion is important and valid. That makes you a secure person. Very interesting. The group-oriented cultures will say, no, I must get the opinions of others before I decide. Okay, so, and it's not about security, it's about the fact that they believe that older people or people who are wise need to have a say. Yeah, and that's very much, again, Western psychology. My opinion is important and valid. That is Western psychology. Fantastic. Now, I'm loving the interaction. I hope that more of you will talk. So I like to be alone. All right, that's normal. It's okay. And it's actually good. All right. I like my privacy and not always being sociable. So on a Friday night, I don't have to go out with my friends. I can spend it on my own. I can clean the house. I can read a book. I can watch TV on my own. That is okay. That is individualism. Okay. You will see that compared to Italy and Spain, many German people in the evenings don't do much except maybe once on the weekend. All right, once or twice. But think about Italy, think about Spain. Do you not go with your friends? Okay. So my business is private. I don't easily share my personal life or problems with others. However, I might land up being isolated and alone and not able to cope in my old age. So there is a problem. Okay, so let me just go through this. All right. Let's go down to the last block. I must take initiative. I mustn't be told what to do. I must take initiative. All right. In other words, I must decide what I must do next. Okay. Otherwise, I seem weak. All right. Don't worry about those words. They're very, they can codependent or ineffectual. Some of you will know those words. Okay. But don't worry about them. Okay, in many cases, I don't have to consult with others. Where do we see this in the world today? Trump, okay. All right. I will stop there. I will not comment, but you can see that there are extremes of individualism. Okay. So I'm going to go very quickly because I really want to hear where your cultures are. My behavior does not affect the reputation of others. So if I do something terribly, Carol, fantastic. I perfectly agree, but I think that many people don't do that. They love going out and socializing, and they judge you if you don't do that. That is so interesting. Okay, that is fascinating for me. Coming from South Africa, as a white person in South Africa, it doesn't matter how much you socialize or not, you are not judged. But that's very, very, very interesting. And it's very interesting that that's fascinating. Very, very interesting. Okay, so my behavior does not affect the reputation of others. However, there are exceptions, like a company that gets involved in fraud, all of their employees will be tainted and they will not be able to find jobs. Okay, there was a major fraud happening with KPMG, an accounting company in South Africa. There was fraud and they could not actually ever find jobs again. They had to leave that off their CV if they wanted to find a job. Okay, So also in group situations, you're allowed to have a private conversation. So if you're in a group, you're allowed to have a private conversation. In the group-oriented cultures, if two people have a conversation, it's very, 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 very rude not to include the whole group. Okay, so that is very important for the office culture. That can cause offense very easily. So let's just have a look. Just checking that. Okay. Let's just first, before we go on to that, let me see, where is your culture? So I've talked about different things. Where is your culture in the scale? All right, group versus individual. I'm going to talk about white South Africans, and I think we are more individualistic, but but also group. So we may be 4. So let's put individualism near the number 1 and group near number 10. Okay, so if you 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 and 6 are in the middle, 5's in the middle, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, your group. So my culture is a little bit more 4, I'd say. We're more individualistic, but we have group. Yeah, group as well. So we're not 1. We might even be 5. I would be 1 less than that. So I'd probably be a 4. I like my personal space. I like having time for myself. I need time to just think. I can't think with other people. I can, sorry, but I also need time to think. Where is your culture? Is it 1, 2, 3, 4 individualistic, 5 in the middle, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 group? And then where do you lie? What's your culture? Carol, Daniela, and Erica. Yeah, yes, Erica, in Ecuador, if you don't want to go out, it's impolite. That is so interesting for me. Wow. Okay, so Carol thinks the north of Italy is very in between. All right, so not too individualistic, not too group oriented. I think Germany would probably be the strongest individualistic culture. And then group, I would think, is very strong in the south of, and say now in South America. All right. So Camila says, I like to keep my privacy and share with my loved ones the most important. Okay, I like to keep my privacy and share the most important moments with my loved ones. Sometimes it is good to socialize and talk with different people. Absolutely. Okay. So Camila, that's good. Erica, that's absolutely amazing. So if you are on your own, what happens? It's like you can't spend any time alone. Okay. All right. Now, the reason I am doing this is to talk about how that affects the office. Okay. When you are in the office, you will find some people like to talk about things and be together to do things. Now, surprisingly, Japan, you can only work in groups. It's very seldom you do have your own work to do, but I am told, and I hope that if I'm wrong, I will be corrected. I am told that people do their work in groups. They don't do it alone. You can see that the hierarchy is very, very strong in Japan. The people in authority get very high respect. Okay, but sometimes people will be alone because of shame and honor. Mentally ill people left alone because of shame and honor. People who are disabled, there might be an element of shame and honor. I don't know. Definitely, they are very group oriented, and they go out together. They work together. All right. Erika says we are at about 8, so Ecuador. I'm so glad that someone from Ecuador has joined because of how the coronavirus is affecting your country. It is very sad. And so we are very happy to have you here and joining us. So Erika says, we love to share with others, even if you don't know them, I think. Even if you don't know them. I think that's what you mean. But I disagree. I prefer privacy, she says. I prefer privacy. Good. And Daniela says, in southern Italy, southern Italy tends to remain a group-oriented society, oriented, not orientated, but oriented society in some respects, okay, respects. In some respects, but we juveniles, we young people tend to be totally different from the elderly and are more focused on individualism. That's really interesting. Okay, so it's changing, and there is a great deal of change happening. Excuse me. Okay. Now you can see when you go into the workplace how that could impact your relationships. Say now someone from Ecuador went to Germany, okay? I'm taking some extremes, all right? The person from Ecuador might expect to go out with the German people, and they just don't go out. Other people from Germany will sometimes invite people to socialize, but they are happy being alone. In the office, the person from Ecuador will suddenly have to take initiative. They will have to decide what to do suddenly. When you are in a group, say now in Japan, say now you have some Japanese people coming. If they are low ranking, they will not express their opinion. Even if it is better than the boss, and especially if it is better than the boss, they will not speak. So you have to then, in those situations, what do we do? I'm going to give a solution because we don't have time. Divide it, make small groups, smaller groups of same ranked individuals, so the same level, and let them speak and present their answers, and then the whole group will participate, but otherwise they will not speak. All right. So also, when you from America, yeah, Erika says we love to do things all together. Okay. Daniela says that's the real problem. When you find a job, especially abroad, we must prepare for the local cultures and mindsets. Yeah, actually, it's quite fun. I have lived in the UK. I live in this country where there's many cultures. I lived in Guatemala, and of course, I spoke Spanish. That was a long time ago. And I lived there for a year in Guatemala, and I had to learn to adapt. I think for me, the biggest adaptation was the weather. Yeah, Carol says we try to speak to express our opinions. Yeah, absolutely. I know that from anyone in the Western world will actually express their opinions a lot. So that's all for today, folks. I will come back with more cultural problems tomorrow, and you can book a lesson with me. Jeffrey, if you'll put up my title there. We're in business English. I'm specialized in cross-cultural issues. You're welcome to book a lesson with me on 5666908 is my italki number, and I've so enjoyed your participation. Thank you. It's been exciting and very, very interesting to be part of this discussion. Take care, and I hope that I see you tomorrow at the same time for our next cultural lesson. Bye-bye.